Hi guys, my name is Yenisbel. We're gonna start the Zoom, and it's on the task list A, and we're gonna talk about the disclaimer that we already know. It's about the fact ethics. For example, that we're not gonna share any specific questions from the exam, and we're not going to share any specific questions from any paid resources. If we use free resources, then we're gonna give credit. Today we're using a PowerPoint that wasn't created by me. It was created by, I believe this is from Jennifer. Where did you get this one from? Because I believe it's from the actual book makers, right? The makers of the Cooper book.
It's actually from a university, I think, but they have this on the Facebook group.
Okay, so I can see at the bottom that is from the Applied Behavior Analysis edition, Cooper, and the copyright is from Pearson Education. So it seems like it's I think it's a company that makes the books. I believe.
Yes.
So as far as I know, this is free and we are able to use it. That's why we're using it, and that's why we're recording today. After that, we're gonna use, if we have time and we can do a Cooper quiz, which is also a free resource, and we're gonna give credit to the author. The other thing is that let's just remember that we're not, none of us are BCBAs or BCABAs. We're all students and we're here to learn from each other, to verify everything that we talk about. Okay, so like Jennifer had recommended in the chat, we're gonna do chapter 5. Today is not my usual day. I did it yesterday, but the person that was gonna do it canceled, so bear with me and just let's do the best that we can. I was gonna tell you guys, if I go over, I don't mind going over because I always go to sleep late. If you have to log out, feel free to log out. If by any chance I don't realize that I'm like with the last 2 person, then let me know, Jenny, hey, there's only 2 people here. I'm gonna try to go as fast as possible, but sometimes for me, I don't like it when it's too fast because then we don't get it. Like I like to go slow and in depth better than fast. So here's the PowerPoint. Let me see. And I was able to manipulate it a little bit. I didn't add anything to it. I'm gonna do it in a way that I can ask you questions so we can start practicing their knowledge instead of just directly reading from it. So indicators for trustworthy measurements. We are looking for 1 indicator of trustworthy measurements. Well, actually, how many indicators are there?
3.
3, that's right. So can you tell me one of them?
Validity.
Accuracy.
Validity. Let's stick with validity because that's the one that is in the slide. So validity, you guys are right. So can you tell me anything about validity? What is validity?
Concerned with measuring socially significant behavior.
Yes, that's right. That's really good. You getting it from the book or from your brain?
I'm getting it from the notes.
I'm like, wow, you are awesome. You're awesome. You're just saying exactly what is here. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Very good. So that's exactly what they're saying here. Socially significant behavior. Anybody else wants to throw something out there? The one that I always think about is, but this one is in my own words, is like it's measuring what we are supposed to measure. But they said the same thing that Nadia was saying, which is socially significant behavior. The other one is measures the dimension of behavior relevant to the question, which is the same thing that I said, but in different words. And the third one, it ensures that the data are representative, meaning representing what we wanted to represent, or at least that's how I interpret it.
Validity?
Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's doing validity. Yeah, so the other 2 are accuracy and reliability, right? Anybody wants to tell me something about accuracy?
The true value?
Yes. Awesome. That's the key thing that is here. Observed values match the true value of the event. And then the reliability. Anybody wants to talk about it?
Repeat it. You repeat the data to
Repeated measurements of the same
create a
event.
measurement.
Same results over and over.
Yes. So measures yield the same values across repeated measurement of the same event. So the key thing for me here is the same value. So it would be, if you're weighing yourself, it's 160 pounds all the time that you're weighing yourself in the same event. So I step out of the weight, I go back in, I step out, and I go back in, and every time you have to get the same number.
Correct.
Okay, threats to measurement validity, indirect measurement. Anybody wants to tell me about that one? Let me see if I can find it so I can give you a tip.
Indirect measurement.
Measurement drift.
Threats to measurement validity. So one is indirect measurements. So you can explain a little bit why would indirect measurements threat validity?
It's not observed. You're not observing.
Right. It can be hearsay.
Yes, that's right.
You're making inferences of what's, so you heard, or, somebody's told you, or you hear from somebody else's opinion.
Yes. So here they worded a little differently. And measuring a behavior other than the behavior of it. So I don't fully understand that part. Can anybody explain it to me?
I think what they mean is that, for instance, if you're trying to address a specific behavior, they may be giving you their opinion or the measurement for something other than really something that is related to it. They may think, or the function of the behavior, they may think maybe something, but you're measuring something other than really what you should be focusing on.
Okay, so I guess that you have you're going through it's the danger of by mistake,
right,
something else.
Yeah, one of the notes that come with this, it says that requires inferences to be made about the relationship between the behavior. So for instance, what's the cause of that behavior? You may be assuming that is for one reason, but it may be for another one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one that they're saying is that it requires inferences be made about the relationship between those behaviors, which is similar to what Nadia was saying, right?
Right.
And the third one was must provide evidence that the behavior measure is directly related to the behavior of interest, which is, to me, is all talking about the same thing in different ways.
Different ways.
Yeah. Threats to measurement validity. The other one is let me just give it to you. It's measuring a dimension that is irrelevant or ill-suited to the reason for measuring behavior. Anybody wants to explain this one?
Measuring a dimension that is irrelevant or ill-suited to. I guess it has nothing to do with the target behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I interpret on this also. Okay. So the last one is measurement artifacts. This one, we talked about it yesterday. So we're going to talk a little bit more in here. What are artifacts? Do you guys remember from yesterday or from your past study? What are artifacts?
Misleading. It's misleading, right?
Yes.
Yeah, misleading.
That's the key word. Misleading data that results from the way behavior is measured. Okay, so from the two types, from discontinuous measurement or continuous measurement, which one has artifacts?
Discontinuous.
Discontinuous.
Discontinue, guys. Awesome.
Like is that the whole, partial, and moment? Right.
Yes,
Momentary.
yes,
Okay.
that's the one. And that's the whole partial and interval, and also the play check one, right? Okay, so I don't know how to ask you a question. Do you remember what other things can cause artifacts? Discontinued measurement is one. Another one has to do with scheduling observation. So what about scheduling observation? Can somebody explain it to me?
Well, I think maybe it has to do with how many people you're observing, how many people are observing.
It's not that one that you have to, like, let's see all the behaviors happen in the classroom, but you're going to observe in the cafeteria.
Yes.
It's nothing related, to that.
I believe that's the one that they're referring to. Yeah. So I think we need to add this one to the table that we had yesterday, because they clearly have three. There's a third one here. And this one is insensitive or limiting measurement scales. Can anyone explain that one? I have a good example that I like for that one. Okay, so one that I like to think about that I saw in a book is limiting measurement scales. So if I give a child 150 words and then the child reads it in 1 minute, then I'm saying, oh, the child can read 150 words. But is that limiting to her or not? What do you think? Am I giving her a limit there with the 150 words?
Because she probably can do more.
Yes, exactly. So what they're saying is that we cannot say that the only thing that she reads is 150 words. She might be, super fast reader and she can read, 200, 300 words per minute. We don't know. We are limiting her abilities, so it would be limiting measurement scales. That would be a limiting measurement scale. Anybody has another example that they want to share? I think artifacts is one of those things that we have to really memorize, because I keep on seeing them and I keep getting them confused. But now we know that there are three. Okay, let's say it from the top of our head, guys. What are the three artifacts?
Misleading data.
Misleading data. That's the main one. But in that one, we have three more. We have
discontinue. Is that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Discontinued measurement and something about schedules. What about schedules?
The poorly scheduled observation.
Yes, poorly scheduled. And something about measurement. What about it? The other
limited.
part.
The limiting measurement.
So let's memorize discontinuous. Let's memorize poor schedule observation and limited. Okay, so the next one would be threats to measurement accuracy and reliability. The number one is human what?
Human error.
Good. And the other one that they give us is
poorly designed measurement system.
Okay. Do you remember the three that go under poorly designed measurement system? Because I have never read them. If you know it, say it. If not, I'll just show it.
Well, I have them in front of me too. Cumbersome, difficult to use, and complex. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you want to explain it, Nadia, then?
That's all I have.
Okay. So let's talk about it. Anybody wants to talk about it?
Well, I mean, with cumbersome, you can assume that they're too complex. They're too hard to follow. The difficult to use, that maybe you put too many nuances of how you're going to measure, or you know, I don't know, just to, I mean, the three, I think go pretty much well together. If they're
Yeah,
cumbersome, they're going to be difficult to use and going to be complex. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seem like they mean the same thing.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's confusing me a little bit. I guess we have to remember, I don't know how to remember those three together.
I think what they're really trying to say is that if they're poorly designed measurement systems, they're cumbersome, difficult, and complex. That really is what it means.
Okay. Basically, we need to make them simple for it not to have threats to measurement in accuracy and reliability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, threat to measurement, accuracy, and reliability again. And they have unintended influences on observers. Oh, wait, I skipped one. Inadequate observer training.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody wants to talk about it before I show it? From the top of your head, that's what I mean.
Not being trained.
Well, you haven't
getting distracted, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that you maybe when you're doing the training, how you're collecting the data, you're not teaching them how you're doing it, and what setting and what I don't know. I mean, preparing your
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're all on the right track. I think we're all on the right track. Yes. So this one is explicit and systematic, which has to be consistently, right? We have to have a careful selection of what we train, and we have to train to standards, to competency standard. And ongoing training to minimize observer drift. This one is sort of common sense. I just hope it depends on what they want to ask us in the test, how picky they want to be. Okay, the next one is, let me see, unintended influences on observer. Anybody wants to go for it? Okay, it says observer expectations of what the data should look like. Basically, I think that, I think he's gonna run five times. So I might make my assumption before and let that influence the data, I guess. That was a bad example, but we know that one. That one's easy. Observer reactivity when she is aware that others are evaluating the data. That one we have talked about it in the past. Do you guys remember what reactivity is?
Yeah, when you know that you're being observed, you act differently.
We've talked about that with like the client, right?
With the what?
With the client or the child.
Yeah, but we also talk about it when the technician knows that somebody's going to be looking at their stuff, which they should always know that somebody's going to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. It basically means that, your behavior automatically changes when somebody else is looking at you. And the other one is measurement bias. And the last one is, I'm sorry. Trying to competency standard. And feedback to observers about how their data relates to the goal of intervention. So I guess that's what we have to give them. Okay, here they have a first, second, and third. I don't remember studying this part. So first we need to, for assessing the accuracy and reliability of behavior measurement, first we need to design a good measurement system. Second, we need to train observers carefully. And third, we have to evaluate extent to which data are accurate and reliable. Anybody wants to talk about it a little bit? If not, we move on. I like to ask questions better. It's a little boring like this. Okay. Measure the measurement system. Okay, guys. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Do we remember what is the first thing that we need to do? The thing that we just did in the other slide for assessing the accuracy and reliability of behavior measurement. We need to design what?
A good measurement system.
Good measurement.
And then second, they were talking about a way
Training the observers.
Yes, carefully. And the third one was to
Evaluate how the data is accurate or not, and reliable, accurate and reliable.
Okay, so I got it. So first we need to design, then we need to train, and then we need to evaluate. That's it. That's all we have to remember. I mean, that's how we can summarize it, I guess.
Right.
Okay. So the next one is assessing the accuracy of measurement. No one wants to base research conclusions or treatment decisions on faulty data. And the other one, I didn't put it because I wanted to ask you the question. So accuracy means that the observer values match the blank of an event. This one, you know it. You just need to think about it. Accuracy means the observed values match the blank value
True.
of an effect.
The true value. The true value.
Good job.
Go, Nadia, go.
Thank you, ladies. You're teaching me.
So accuracy, we have to remember, accuracy goes with true value. Anytime I think of accuracy, I go for true value.
Okay.
Of the events, but I'm thinking of keywords that we need to like be able to pinpoint fast in a task. Okay, so assessing the accuracy of measurement. For purpose of accuracy assessment. Anybody wants to take it for a ride? This one's hard. So let's go for it. Let's do it because it's hard to get it from our head. The first one, we need to determine if data are good enough to make decisions. So makes sense, right? We don't need to explain. The second one, we need to discovery and correction of measurement errors. We want to make sure that we're not making any errors in the measurement, basically. The third one is reveal consistent patterns of measurement errors, which is almost the same thing as the one on top. And the fourth one, assure consumers that data are accurate. So those are the four purposes of accuracy assessment. Anybody wants to talk a little bit about them and explain them if you're good at it? If not, we move on.
Yeah, I think they're pretty clear.
Okay, let's move on then. Accuracy assessment procedures. Accuracy determined by calculating correspondence of each data point with its true value, which is the same thing that we had just talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of a mile. Be the second lane, right, then turn
Wait, I have one that I didn't put. Measurement is accurate when observed value match the true value, which is the same thing that we had just said.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have that the process for determining true value must differ from measurement procedures. Do you understand this one? Process for determining true value must differ from measurement procedure. What do you understand by that sentence? Because I don't fully understand it.
Process for determining.
I don't know, really. Accuracy assessment should be reported in research.
So I'm thinking if we're doing the measurement procedure, let's pick one measurement procedure. You guys pick one.
Event recording.
Okay, in event recording, which one do you want to use from the 3 that we learned yesterday? We have 3.
Frequency.
So we have 3. Let's remember, it's frequency. What's the other one?
Rate.
Rate. What's the last one?
Acceleration.
Okay.
Acceleration.
So here we're saying that, can I write with this thing? Let me see.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left on right road.
I think all of those PowerPoints you can modify.
Let me see. Is something appear here and it's not letting me get it out. We can take it out. Okay. I don't want to mess with it, so let's just leave it like that. So process for determining true value must differ from measurement procedures. So the measurement procedure that we're using is event recording, and then Jennifer picked count/frequency, right? So we're gonna count how many times I jump, let's say.
1/4
So
mile.
that measurement procedure cannot be used to find the true value because we're already using it. So we need to find something totally different. Now, how we do that in practice, that's what I don't understand. Do you understand the same thing that I'm understanding, or do you understand something differently?
No, I'm confused by the same thing. I don't know.
Well, let's go for the example that we always use. For true value, for accuracy, I always put the example that the true value, the one that is gonna, when we're weighing ourselves in the house, we use, what's the name of the thing that we use in the house to
A
weigh?
scale,
A what?
a weight scale
A weight scale. But where do we get the true value?
at the doctor's.
At the doctor's, and it's a totally different one. It's a different one. So that's what I think they're referring here.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't understand is, in practical, how are we gonna really do it? You know what I mean? Are we gonna use a totally different measurement procedure, which would be timing? But it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe we can just look this up in Cooper.
Yeah, maybe we should make a note of it. Okay, so the last one is accuracy assessment should be reported in research. I guess that's for research people. Okay, assessing the reliability of measurement. Let me see if I find a question for this one. Give me a second. Okay, so when is it that a measurement is reliable? You know this.
And it shows the same data?
Yes, that's right. They have it in fancier words, which is measurement is reliable when it yields the same values across repeated measures of the same event. And I think for the sake of the test question, we need to make sure that they're measuring the same event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next one. Is accuracy, wait, let me just go for it because I don't really understand. Not the same as accuracy. So reliability is not the same as accuracy. We all know that already.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is reliable. Application of measurement system is important. And the other one is requires permanent product for re-measurement. Do you understand this sentence? Requires permanent product for re-measurement?
I think repeat the, because we have to repeat the measurement to see if it's reliable. I think that's what it meant.
Well, repeat the target behavior, like the person needs to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the same target behavior. Like the question we had in chapter 4. I forget which one. But the guy was on the job and he did the same task.
Yeah.
Or you already have your data. You already collect data, and then with the permanent product, you're gonna remeasure the data that you have. Maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is, I'm thinking about those behaviors that
Mhm.
don't have permanent product. But I'm thinking, in a research where they film you, so that way they get reliability with the other person. So I do it in person, but she films me, and that way that's the permanent product for the other person to see it. I don't know if that one, it's a good example as well. And the last one is low reliability signals suspect data. So that means that something's going on with the data, basically, right? Okay, let's move on. Using Interobserver agreement to assess behavioral measurements. Do you remember what Interobserver agreement means? What is it?
The agreement between two observers.
Can you repeat that?
The agreement between the two observer and
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be more than one observer, right?
Right.
Agree to which two or more independent observers report the same value of the same event. Basically what you just said. Okay, benefits of Interobserver agreement. So can you tell me at least one benefit of Interobserver agreement?
so we can identify. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You
Yeah,
have,
please.
Believability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What was?
Yenisbel, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, let's cancel it and then go back. Thanks for reminding me, Minerva.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll send the link as fast as I can. Let me see.
Happy birthday, Siri.